this is gonna sound a little bit funny, but I actually use a calendar. I have to be intentional about it because I find that you can kind of lie to yourself and think you're spending equal time and then you're not. So I actually have a calendar and I make sure that I have family time put aside and I never mess with that, and then I have my time for work.
I don't believe in balance per se. I believe in integration. So work-life integration, the other problem is that it assumes that work is not part of life when you try to differentiate life from work. And so I say work and non-work integration. And so I work from home. I get up in the morning. I make sure I'm able to drive my kids to school every morning. I go to work at home. I work all day. I make sure I'm done by 5:30 so I can have dinner with my kids and my wife, of course. I put the kids to bed, and then if I have more work to do, I start again at 8 or 8:30. And to me, that's an integrated life. That works very, very well for me. It's made my business into what they call a lifestyle business. And I love that lifestyle. And so I've tried to make it so that all of my employees can have similar lifestyles. So the vast majority of my employees, about 100 out of the 146 or so that we have, work from home every day. Another 40 some are able to work from home at least one day a week. And about 3 of them have to work on site every day, and nobody works in our office. So we have pushed this concept of being able to create a lifestyle that works for you to everyone in the company. It's not always easy. Culture is very tough when everyone works from home. Getting together has to be, there are no accidental interactions. We have to do those things with intentionality. And so we do, and it's part of the process.
I think for me, I got balance when I started to delegate and when I really started to grow my team. And that's the best part of having a great executive team, is it allows me to step away and have balance. And so it's been a hard road finding the right team for the company, but now that I have that, yeah, I have pretty good balance now, I have to admit. But it only becomes through trusting your team. You have to trust your team, you have to delegate, you have to believe that they're gonna do the right thing without you. And if they don't do it, I mean, it's a teachable moment, but you learn that you don't have to be there all the time for things to go right.
For me, it's not so much around balance. My wife works, we have 2 young kids, and it's around harmony. So it's all of us kind of rowing together and rowing in sync to make sure that we're having this harmonious relationship and this harmonious engagement with each other. So when either one of us is not traveling, we always have family dinners around the dinner table, and we always start with what we're grateful for. So we are blessed and fortunate to kind of be where we are and have what we have, and that we share in each other's success.
It's a tough one. I think for me, with 3 young kids and my life with my wife, trying to be a good husband, a good father, it's tough running a business. And so for me, the key is flexibility. And so we really want to support work-life balance in our company, and we do that in many ways. And one of the ways that I do it almost seems ironic, but in my case, that's leaving earlier than normal business hours, maybe to get to my son's baseball game or to get home or to see a dance recital or whatever it might be. But then I do work later at night. And I don't want to set a bad example for our team that there's some expectation that they need to be doing work at night. But for me, right now, at this stage of my life with young kids, that's what works for me. Long time ago, when I just had 1 baby, sometimes what I would do is I would stay and I'd work till 2 a.m. one night a week. And I'd miss being home that night, but I'd get all this work done so I could leave at a more reasonable time other nights. And that worked for me then. It doesn't work well for me now with younger kids that expect to see me as much as possible. So I think the key for work-life balance is just to mix it up based on what works for you, and to work in an environment where people understand that, and just to be sensitive that in my case, if it makes sense for me to do some work on a Sunday night, that there's not some obligation therefore for other people to work at the same time just because they see me doing that.